Rainier Avenue Radio.world is your 24/7 digital media hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TuneIn apps.
Welcome back to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. If you haven't heard that, it's one of our liners for the show. We're here as we are and have been every Friday to update you on the impacts of the coronavirus in Seattle and surrounding communities, and what our businesses, what our community members, what our civic agencies are doing, what our service providers are doing during this pandemic. And I can tell you for sure, on Friday the 13th, when we started doing this back in March, I did not anticipate that we would be looking at August and thinking we're in the same position. We may even be worse. And we are adjusting to, in some instances, this new normal. We do have folks that are trying to ensure that as we reach this new normal, we have some of the old things that we were accustomed to. And joining me is Danyal Lotfi. Danyal, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me, Tony?
Okay, I can hear you a little. We'll see if we can get that. Danyal is the Community Engagement Advisor at Seattle Parks and Recreation. He's been in public service for 5 years now, and 3 of those with Seattle Parks and Recreation. Originally born and raised in Iran, Danyal has called Seattle area home for the past 13 years and currently resides in the Central District, which is where we are currently located. He's a self-identified plant baba, dad in Persian, and is a member of the Big Day of Play planning team. That's what we're here to talk about, the Big Day of Play, which is an event that has been quickly become a classic and a staple in our community in South Seattle. Festive, lots of fun, interactive games, families being together, sharing. This year, Danyal, it's going to be a little different, right?
It is, yeah. Thank you again for having me on your show, and happy Friday to you and to your listeners. Yeah, so the Big Day of Play, for those who may not be aware, Big Day of Play is one of Seattle Parks and Recreation signature events.
And one of my favorite events of the year, by the way.
Yes, I would concur. And this event is presented by our Get Moving initiative. It's a celebration of our city's diversity, and it encourages neighbors, communities, and families to have fun, build relationships, and just be active together. As you said, Tony, it's happening a little bit differently this year. In the past years, we have kind of taken over Rainier Beach Community Center and the play field for a day-long.
Rainier Community Center, not Rainier Beach.
Rainier Community Center, excuse me. Yes. And for a day of events, activities, dances, food, performances. So this year, because of everything going on, we did not want to not do the event. So we have adjusted. We tried to stay flexible, and knowing how important this event is to so many of our families, especially in South Seattle, we wanted to make sure that we still provide that opportunity. So this year, the event will be happening online, virtually. Big Day of Play will provide an opportunity for neighbors to connect with others and build a healthier, stronger community. As I mentioned, our communities are dealing with COVID-19, and we recognize that this virus has had a disproportionate impact on our Black and Latinx communities. And so that makes this event even more pertinent this year, so that we can uplift our neighbors, and ultimately our goal is to improve the physical and mental health outcomes of our neighbors. So just like you said, we will similar to previous years, we'll have local artists, we'll have music, storytelling, dancing, we'll have some community updates, and we'll have some fitness challenges. And I will talk about the play kit, how you can get your free play kits in a little bit.
All right. Again, you're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world, breaking radio boundaries. And we are excited to have Danyal Lotfi here to discuss the big day of play. Danyal, we look forward to this event because it's an opportunity for us to get out and meet members of our community. Again, it's going to be a little different this year. However, we will be broadcasting live and we'll be broadcasting some of those performances. You talked a little bit about the big day of play and what's involved there, and I do want to talk about the kits that are available. We're going to definitely get into that. The activities that normally happen are very interactive, and a lot of folks in the community look forward to it. When COVID-19 became something that was clear that it was going to alter that opportunity, let's talk about the process that you went through at the city, that those who were part of the Get Moving project and involved in this project, when you were faced with, well, what are we going to do? And then came up with this ingenious idea about virtual participation. But walk us through that process, because at first it had to seem kind of bleak, like, oh no, we're not going to have the event that the community has now again fell in love with.
Yeah, that's a great question. And beyond Big Dev Play, I'm part of a couple of other organizations in the community, and since the start of COVID, I've been part of multiple of these processes where we said, should we do it, should we not? Recognizing the importance that event has for the community, but also recognizing the challenge that we have with the pandemic. And I got to give a big shout out to our fearless leader, Lakima Bell, who was very good with kind of grounding us and reminding us that this is a new challenge for everybody. And what we focused on was what is possible rather than what we can't do, or things that we've been able to do in the past years that we can't do this year. So it really kind of came back to, we've had a lot of conversations with our planning team about, is this doable? Is this feasible? Is it safe? And, up until just a few weeks ago, we're kind of going back and forth about, would it be possible to have an in-person event, which obviously would be far more impactful. But again, we regrounded ourselves by asking ourselves what is possible and how can we deliver what is possible to the community. So that's where this idea of, okay, virtual, we had this idea as one of our options, but we made that our sole priority, and we really focused on how can we deliver an online virtual event that is still engaging with the community. And so we will have components throughout the event that will engage the community. We'll have little fitness challenges where folks can do the challenge with us.
All right. And this is Saturday, August 15th.
Yes, so that's right. So this event will be on Saturday, August 15th, which is next weekend, from 12 to 3 p.m. The best place to find all necessary information is on our website, which is www.bigdayofplay.com. This event, as a reminder, is free and is open to everybody. It does not require pre-registration. We will be streaming the live virtual event on multiple platforms, including Zoom, our Facebook and YouTube accounts, TV, and radio, including the wonderful Rainier Avenue Radio. And you can find out information about how to access the event on each of those platforms on our website. And so again, no registration is needed. All you need to do is figure out what platform is the easiest for you to access the event, and you're all set.
All right. And if you would like a kit, we're here right now. So from all the way up until 3 o'clock, you can come down to our physical manifestation of Rainier Avenue Radio at 810 23rd Avenue. We've already had a couple people come by today and pick up the kits. We have a few left. Not as many that have been requested. But before I go into that, because I've got some breaking news, I would like you to also talk about the other locations where you can pick up your play kits. You can definitely get them from Rainier Avenue Radio, again, 810 23rd Avenue. So if you're in the Central District and you're looking to participate, or if this is just an easier location for you, we're right on the corner, just off the corner of 23rd and Columbia. And then again on Tuesday from 10 to 5, you can come up and pick up your play kit. And then on Friday again from 1 to 3. And then there are other locations as well. And Danyal, I'll let you talk about the other
Yeah.
locations.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, so we do have, so what are these free play kits we put together because this event, this celebration will be happening with everybody in their own homes. We wanted to provide a play kit for everybody, for those who are interested. The play kit will include sports equipment like a soccer or volleyball ball. There'll be jump ropes, sidewalk chalk, and more. So you can pick those up. You can pick them up at Rainier Avenue Radio, as Tony mentioned. Some of the other locations are the Northwest African American Museum, Food Lifeline at the Rainier Beach Community Center, Chief Sealth High School, Lake City Court, and Othello International Festival. I will note that just like Rainier Avenue Radio, all of those locations have a specific day and time where folks can pick up those play kits. So please visit our website. If you go under virtual event and free play kit, you can see all of our locations where we'll be handing out these free kits.
Now, here's the breaking news. We have been inundated with requests for these kits. And lots of folks, groups are looking for them. And they're gonna run out. I mean, we still have a few left here, but we're gonna run out. Here's the breaking news. I talked with Lakima this morning. The city is going to purchase enough of the things that go in the kits, the balls, the jump ropes, the pedometers, the water bottles, all of these things, the frisbees, is going to purchase more of these. And Ben Wheeler over at Yesler Community Center in Gary, we've gotten together and they'll be purchased and they're going to put these kits together. And so by next week, we should have more kits to give away. That's just awesome.
That is really wonderful. And thank you so much for serving as kind of our liaison in the community, getting these play kits out. So I really appreciate you and Rainier Avenue Radio's help.
So if you happen to contact one, and that's not even known yet. So if you happen to contact one of the places that Danyal mentioned and there are no kits available, we're going to be working hard at this and we'll get these ready and get them out to the pickup location so that you can participate as well. You can have your play kit so that you and your family can play together and do some of the virtual participation as well. So if you're trying to get a play kit and folks are out, we got relief coming. That's a great thing. So kudos to Lakima and the team, and then also to Ben Wheeler at Yesler Community Center in Gary for volunteering to say, hey, you know what? If you can get them, we'll put these kits together and we'll get them to where they need to be. So that's the breaking news. If you don't get wonderful. A kit,
I love breaking news like that.
Did you know that? Were you aware of that?
I know it was breaking news to me too, and it makes me very happy.
All right. Again, my guest is Danyal Lotfi, and we gave him some breaking news that we shared with you as well. He's the community engagement advisor in Seattle Parks and Recreation, and we're talking about the big day of play, which, yes, is still going to happen. You mentioned Rainier Community Center and Rainier Playfield, where this normally takes place. Now, we're going to be broadcasting live from Rainier Community Center inside, which is where the performances are going to be.
That's right. Yeah. So we have set up a space at the Rainier Community Center and kind of making sure that we include all of the guidelines around COVID and all the necessary safety precautions. But we do have a space set up where those artists who have agreed to participate or for our exercise challenges, we will have a space where at the Rainier Community Center where that will be broadcast. But again, that will be accessible to everybody wherever you are from multiple different platforms.
Yeah, so again, it's going to be happening physically. You won't be able to go down there when I mention that it's there. Unfortunately. But it's taking place. So because it could have been, Danyal, that these activities were, in addition to the play and the movement that takes place, you also had a lot of groups that looked forward to showcasing their talent at this event.
That's right. I mean, last year was actually the first time I attended the event, and I was just simply blown away by the amount of talent that existed. I was especially impressed by our youth, to see the performances they put on, and all the volunteers who showed up to help us. So I would say I was blown away by not just the attendees, but by the way that the community stepped up and helped us to make sure that this was a successful event. We are very sad we can't have that in person again this year, but we're gonna do our best to bring you another fun, engaging event.
Again, you're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. It's me, Tony B. This is our special broadcast of the impact of the coronavirus on South Seattle and surrounding communities. One of those impacts is that an event that brings the community together, a celebratory event that includes music, entertainment, families, and activities to get you moving, is what it's all about. And you can still do those things. This year it's going to be virtual. Let's talk about the reason for this event, the big day of play. And again, the reason for this, get moving. Why is that critical, and why is that the centerpiece of this event?
Of course. Well, we know that the mental and physical health of your neighbors, of a community, has a direct impact on all sorts of outcomes for that community. And having recognized that certain parts of the city have historically been underserved and have not been allocated resources properly, whether that was intentionally in the past or by accident, by design. So we want to focus on our neighbors who need the most attention right now. And again, there were already certain existing disadvantages that the new COVID and the pandemic has really exacerbated. So our focus with the big day of play, number one, is to just create a fun event for the community, something to engage community. And again, especially during this time of pandemic and where a lot of people are feeling isolated, it is so important for us to bring the community together, even if it's online and not in person. And in the past years that we've done Big Day of Play, like you mentioned, we've given people pedometers because we want to be able to brag about the amount of activity that we were able to create during this event, and hoping that will have a long-term impact, that will get that community, get all of our communities active, so that we can have better outcomes for everybody, especially our youth.
All right, and Karen, would you mind getting me one of those kits, please? Karen?
Oh,
Karen?
that's wonderful.
Karen, would you mind getting me one of those kits, please, so I can show people what's in the kit while that's happening, while we're talking about it? So you're going to have about an hour and 10 minutes left to pick yourself up a kit here from Rainier Avenue Radio.world. We have had several requests, so we know these things are going to go, but we still have a few with us right now. So if you want to come down, it's 810 23rd Avenue. I got a couple kits here, and I'm just going to peek inside and see what we got in here. All right, so thank you. So just got a couple of different kits, and take a look, and you can see the bag. And Daniel, can I expose it? Can you see that? All right, that's the bag, and inside of this particular kit, okay, we've got a football. All right,
that's right.
And a pedometer. All right, and water bottle, frisbee.
Yes.
Information.
All the things you need. Yeah, all the things you need for the summer.
Yes. And, I'm going to take a look. I think there's some other, what else is in here as well? Oh, yes. The chalk, street chalk. In here.
The street chalk, that has one of the most fascinating ways community has showed up for each other since the start of the pandemic was, it was the simple things that sometimes went a long way. And I know that a lot of people drew designs or words of encouragement for their neighbors in the driveways. So we encourage our youth to use those chalks and create something beautiful on their streets. in their neighborhood.
Okay, I'm still going here because I got another bag
Yes.
I'm looking at.
Yes.
So in this bag, we've got a basketball and a jump rope. And again, as I'm looking through, this is like Christmas, man. And a water bottle and another pedometer. And looks like there's street chalk in here as well. And then you get this cool little bag to go along with everything. So the bags are fairly consistent. There's a difference in the balls, but this is what the kit looks like, and you get this cool little bag. So again, you can pick that up here at Rainier Avenue Radio.world, 810 23rd Avenue until 3 o'clock. And if you wouldn't mind, Danyal, again, those other locations.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of the other locations where folks can pick up their free play kits, you can go to the Northwest African American Museum Children's Book Giveaway, which is happening tomorrow. You can also visit Chief Sealth High School, Food Lifeline at the Rainier Beach Community Center, Lake City Court, and the Othello International Festival. And as a reminder, I encourage everyone to visit our website, www.bigdayofplay.com, so that you can not only see the full list, but each of those locations have specific dates and times where they will be available to provide you with the play kit. So make sure you check our website before you go to that location.
All right, I'm getting ready to play Frisbee.
It's a beautiful day out.
Okay, Karen, you're going to play with me? Yeah. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can. Oh.
That was me.
Let's try this again. This is an example. Okay,
exactly.
Here we go. And off the air, you're going to see this come back to me. It's going to be magical. Here we go. All right. Did you see that?
There we go. Yes. All
right. Wait a minute. I'm not done yet. Now I'm going to play with our producer.
Okay.
See this special? I'm going to take a shot. You're not going to see this go in the net, but it's going to go swish. He's going to take it out of the net and then give it back to me. Okay, I'm going to take a shot here. All right. Ah. That was fast.
Nicely done.
Hey, this is the type of virtual play that we're talking about. It's physical where you're at, but you can participate virtually online with other folks who are doing this big day of play. It's still going to happen this year, August 15th. It will be virtual, but you can get your play kit and do all these things virtually.
That's right. And one thing I'll add, if for whatever reason you're not able to join us for a big day of play, you can still enjoy our parks. I encourage folks to get out and explore their neighborhood parks. Try to, there's still a pandemic out there. So if you do go out and enjoy the parks, make sure you stay locally, that you wear masks and that you follow social distancing. And keep your gatherings to 5 or less people. And honestly, I know it's a challenge to have these guidelines in place, and they're definitely not meant to discourage people from enjoying the outdoors. Our priority right now is to maintain our park spaces open and accessible to everyone, especially during this time of kind of isolation. And these guidelines are just in place to ensure that we can do that and that everybody can enjoy the parks safely.
All right, we got a couple of minutes left here, Danyal, and I'm going to give you an opportunity here if you want to give some shout outs to some folks who helped make this possible, and then an opportunity for final words. So make it happen, Captain.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't have the full list of our team, but there are many people involved with the planning of this, from folks like myself who do community engagement, to folks behind the scenes doing logistics, folks who are helping recruit local talent. We're, of course, led by the wonderful Lakima Bell. So major shout out to her for her leadership. And in terms of closing, once again, I want to encourage people to attend if they're able to. We have multiple ways, multiple platforms, but we'll be streaming this. So we'll have Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, TV, and radio. So I encourage you to visit our website. bigdayofplay.com to find out more. You can email us if you have any specific questions, and that email address is info@bigdayofplay.com. And finally, just make sure you're enjoying the sunshine while it lasts, and make sure you're enjoying the outdoors, and please stay safe.
Okay, while you were doing that, I mean, I was listening, but I was playing. You know that.
Yeah, multitasking.
Once you start playing, it's hard to stop. I think Rufus and Chaka Khan wrote a song about that. Okay, maybe you'd have to be old school once you get started. Anyway, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. It's me, your host, Tony B., my guest, Danyal Lotfi, again with the Seattle Parks and Rec. We've been talking about Big Day of Play. Big Day of Play will take place despite the pandemic. There will be virtual opportunities for you to participate. There will still be safe, socially distanced performances that will be broadcasting that you can check out from noon to 3 right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Of course, you can go to our website, find out more information. You can go to Big Day of Play website and get more information there. Danyal, thanks for joining us. And again, the breaking news, if you try to get one of these kits in the route, there's more on the way. We'll get some of these kits to you. Big thanks again to Ben Wheeler and Gary at the Yester Community Center for stepping up to the plate. Thanks, Danyal.
Thank you so much, Tony, for having me. I appreciate you, and happy Friday again.
Yes, we will be back to celebrate more of our South Seattle communities and share with you some of the success stories of the businesses in the Columbia City that have not only survived COVID, but are now in the process of getting around to the thriving portion of it. We'll be back right after this.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time, and when I'm not helping bad girls set up their websites, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
There's a lot going on. Are you ready? Ready to feel better, look better, be better? Drink water. Be ready for a pickup game. Insta-frame to work hard towards your aim. Drink water. Hydrate. Hydrate to invest in yourself. Cut down on sugar. Invest in your health. Imagine the possibilities and reach your potential. Who knows what's next? Be ready. Be hydrated.
This is your Rainier Avenue Radio.world community update on free online resources through Seattle Public Library. You can do consumer research, take a free online technology class, read newspapers from major cities, and more. There are resources for students of any age, including lifelong learning, student research, and test preparation tools. Access online resources with your library card anywhere with an internet connection at spl.org/online-resources.